What's up guys, Steven here and welcome back to another video, and today we'll take a closer look at the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, one of the most hyped smartphones at the moment with some killer specs. So we have 120x zoom, 120 watt charging, really nice specifications and a transparent back cover. So this phone looks really amazing on the paper, but today we'll check out if this phone is also amazing when you use it. And well, this phone is provided by Trading Shenzhen. You can find a link down below in the description. So this is an unpaid video. It's not sponsored by Trading Shenzhen or Xiaomi. They just sent me a sample to test it out, and afterwards it goes to the next reviewer. Alrighty guys, so you will get my very honest opinion about the phone right now, and I would say let's have a closer look. So guys, there we go. Here's the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, and this is the box it comes in. And yeah, it is looking gorgeous, as you can see in the silver finish, and it's a really huge box. So I'm also testing right now the Xiaomi Mi Band 5, and this is also from Trading Shenzhen. So if you're looking for a cheap fitness tracker with amazing battery life, then make sure to check it out. So Mi Band 5 review coming very soon. Alrighty guys, now here it is, and let's quickly check out the accessories before we have a closer look at the phone itself. And there we go. So it comes with some Chinese stuff in there I cannot read. Anyhow, this is one of my personal highlights. This is a 120 watt charger. It's called the Mi Turbo Charge, and it's absolutely crazy. So if you have a closer look at the ratings right over here, then we get 20 volts, 6 amps maximum, and it charges the phone in a bit more than 20 minutes. So between 20-25 minutes depending on the temperatures and everything. And this is what I call fast charging, 20 to 25 minutes, absolutely sick. Well, it also comes with a special cable that is certified for the 6 amps, and yeah, it's a kind of thick cable, just like Huawei Supercharge. Then we have here a SIM pin inside, as always, and a cover. I haven't had a look at the cover right now, but yeah, it's some transparent cover, pretty stiff, and says here designed by Xiaomi. So, well, nothing too special. And then here we have a Type-C adapter, so for the headphone jack, and yeah, that's everything you can find inside of the box. And then we have here the smartphone, and to be honest, it is looking so crazy good. Now, well, it's not really 100% transparent back cover, as you can see, because, well, it only shows some kind of internals right over here, but just it shows where they are and not really the internals themselves. And this is because, well, there has to be some shielding inside, so RF shielding for the smartphone. And it's better to have a phone like this than a phone that maybe interferes with some RF signals. So anyhow, the design is looking really nice and I absolutely love it. If we have a closer look here at the cameras, you can see this huge periscope camera with 120x mark on there. So we have 120x zoom, but well, of course digital, and the optical zoom is just 5x. So it's very comparable to the Huawei P40 Pro, which I have right over here in this nice Pitaka case. So yeah, we have also a few other cameras, but we'll come to the camera very soon. Overall, this phone is really huge. Now the display is 6.67 inches, it's 1080 x 2340 pixels, Corning Gorilla Glass 5 HDR10+, and 120 Hz refresh rate, so it's really crazy. Also, it's a kind of bright display with 800 nits, so that's really good. Now the display is curved right over here, and well, it feels so responsive. This is absolutely crazy. You can also tune it down to 60 Hz if you want to have some better battery life, but the 120 Hz, they are really amazing. Now talking about the performance, we have the Snapdragon 865 inside, so this is why it's really fast. It's not the 865 Plus, but still it's an amazing smartphone. Now this is the 8GB, 256GB version, so we have 8 gigs of RAM and 256GB of storage. There's also the 16GB version with 512GB, but yeah, it's more expensive. And this is actually a pretty good deal for 750 euros. So let's have a closer look at the design before we have a closer look at the phone itself. Now, well, we have here a front-facing camera and 4 cameras on the back. We have on the top microphone, IR blaster, and yeah, it's looking really nice and really cool that you have an IR blaster. At the bottom we have the speaker, it's a single speaker here. Then we have the Type-C port, and last but not least we have the SIM card slot, which we'll quickly open. So it's a dual SIM slot, as you can see, so you can put in two SIM cards, but you cannot put in any memory cards, so you cannot extend the internal storage. That's the only downside, so you need to think about if you really need the 512 gigabytes or if 256 are actually enough, but that are way better storage options than on the iPhone, for instance. Talking about the buttons, we have the power button on the right, volume button right over here, feels really amazing, and yeah, it's actually nice to hold even though it's such a big phone. So yes, I have pretty big hands, but still it feels really, really good. Now, yeah, we have MIUI 12 on there. I just recently did an update on the smartphone. It went through easily. And yeah, MIUI 12, it's a little bit different. And yeah, actually, I start to like MIUI 12 because it feels really, really polished. Now, this is the Chinese version, so that means it doesn't come with the Google Play Store, but Trading Shenzhen is so awesome to pre-install the Google Play Store for you. So when you buy the phone there, all you have to do is just log in with your Google account. You don't have to do any workarounds like on Huawei smartphones, for instance, because, well, Xiaomi is not blocked by Google. It's still a Chinese phone, but the Play Store can be installed without any troubles. It's super easy. Also, they usually install all the Google Play services for you with the installer and also the Google keyboard, so you can start right away from taking it out of the box. Alright, so the coolest thing I need to show you guys is this animation when you unlock the phone. Then it zooms into the planet and boom. This is so cool. There are different planets available, and yeah, you can also go here to the wallpaper, set all the widgets, and let me quickly show you that. Those are called super wallpapers, and we have the red planet, so Mars. It's actually one of my favorite ones. Now guys, look at that always on display. It looks really amazing, totally black here, and if you press the power button it zooms in a bit, and then if you unlock it zooms in even more into the planet, and this is looking so stunning. To every person I show this, they're like, wow, this is looking crazy. But yeah, this is just something I wanted to show you. Now let's go quickly here through the settings and let's check out what we can do with the phone. So here you can once again see all the specifications. So we have 8 gigs of RAM, here the resolution. We have 4,500 milliamp hours of battery capacity in there. And talking about the battery, it lasts me around about 1 day. So it really depends on the usage. Also the newer MIUI version I need to test, so you will get some real numbers in the full review. But the 20 minutes charging from 0 to 100, it's crazy. You don't need to worry about battery life. You just plug it in for 5 minutes and it's absolutely crazy. This is something I really need. So well, we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth for sure, always that always on display is looking really, really amazing. Then you can see here we have 120 Hz refresh rate of the display. So let me turn down the brightness a bit. It's really bright with the 800 nits, but you can also go to the 60 Hz back. But yeah, it's hard to show this on camera, but the 120 Hz, trust me guys, it feels really, really smooth. For sure, there's also a nice dark mode in MIUI 10. This is something I really like. So now that is looking really cool, also much better to film here. Then yeah, MIUI is already very customizable. I won't go through all the settings because you guys probably know already how MIUI 12 looks like. Then yeah, battery and performance, as I've told you, 1 day for the regular users, no problem. For not heavy users, it's maybe even more than a day, and for me it's 1 day or a little bit less. And Xiaomi has some really aggressive notification management. So usually when I'm at the home screen, I don't see any notifications, then you know I have to unlock, nothing is coming through, and then bam, a ton of notifications. So they do that to actually save battery. And yeah, this is something that's a little bit weird if you come from an iPhone, because you always get the notifications, but then you get on the Chinese smartphone, on the Xiaomi here, and notifications, well, it takes quite a lot of time and sometimes they don't come through and then you have to unlock. It's kinda weird. Alright, then if we swipe down from the top, we get here the notifications, as I've told you, and here the status menu and the quick toggles. Well, we have some really neat things in there. So here the usual stuff, but if we go right over here, you can actually see that there is Mi Share. So it's the same like AirDrop, Huawei Share, where you can transfer data between your Mi devices, which is really, really cool. We have for sure screencast, floating window, screen recorder built in. So MIUI gets better and better, really nice every time I get a new Xiaomi and there's something new. And reverse wireless charging. So it doesn't only support 50-watt wireless charging, it also supports reverse wireless charging for your accessories. So if you have, for instance, something like AirPods or whatever you use which support wireless charging, you can charge it with the phone, which is really, really convenient. And yeah, NFC of course also included. Now, when you buy the smartphone from Trading Shenzhen, you get here the Play Store pre-installed, so you don't need to worry. But there's also Get Apps where you can search, for instance, for apps. So it looks kind of similar to Petal Search on Huawei, where you can actually find some applications. Or you have the Mi Store, where of course it's everything in Chinese, and yeah, I wouldn't use it at all. So I just use Xiaomi for updates, but usually I download all my apps from the Play Store. There's also the Mi Wallet, which, yeah, is kind of cool, but here in Europe, you know, guys, it's a Chinese phone, and some things on the smartphone, they will remain in Chinese. For instance, we have here in the calendar a few Chinese signs and something like that, but there is nothing too serious where the translation is missing. So there are just a few apps and places where you will sometimes see some Chinese apps. Other than that, it is working really, really good. So once again, back to the performance, we have the Snapdragon 865, a real masterpiece of technology, up to 2.84 gigahertz. Then yeah, the 8 gigabytes of RAM, as you can see, without too many apps installed, it's already consuming like 40% of the RAM, which is, well, quite average. Then here we can see also battery once again, and here I wanted to show you the thermal sensor. So also during charging it got for sure warm, but not really hot, so there is no battery overheating or something, even though it's charging with 120 watts. And I think this is a real killer piece of technology. Then let's quickly play a game, because, well, it's a Snapdragon 865, so it should be very powerful. The cool thing is that you can play with 120 Hz. There are also a few games that support 120 frames. So that means if you have a display capable of 120 Hz, you can also play some games of 120 FPS, which is really cool. Now, the source of games which supports 120 FPS is very limited, but, well, in the future there will probably be more. So yeah, it's a Snapdragon 865, that also means great gaming performance. We're here in PUBG right now, and if you want to check out the settings, we can quickly do this. So we are playing here in HDR and extreme settings, and yeah, it's looking really nice. So it's also an HDR10 certified display, so can display HDR content if you're watching it. And yeah, also games for sure work in HDR. And as you can see, 120 Hz, and here the performance of the Snapdragon 865, it is just gorgeous. It is very smooth, and you can play most of the games in the highest frame rate, so that's absolutely no problem at all. Gaming top. But what about the display and just watching videos? Well, I have installed YouTube, and as you can see, I have a work domain. So I also have to set a pattern or PIN, otherwise I cannot log in. So you don't need to worry about that you cannot log in with Google or something. This is not the case on Xiaomi smartphones. It works perfectly nice. So let me quickly sign in here. Alright, then there we go, let's watch some videos. And well, because it's that wide, as you can see, you get some black bars on the left and right side, but you can just zoom in like this to get it full screen, crops in a little bit, but still looking really nice. Now the display has really nice viewing angles, as you can see, and it's also really bright with the 800 nits, so no problem to use it outdoors, and it just looks gorgeous. Now the speaker on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is okay. It's not the best one, it sounds a bit too weird on the deep frequencies, but yeah, it is actually okay. It is loud enough, you feel a bit vibration right over here at maximum volume, so it starts to rattle a little bit, and yeah, the bass doesn't feel that clean, but still, it's an okay speaker, and the smartphone is doing good here. Alright guys, and let's talk about the camera, and we have some excellent cameras in there, and it's rated as the best camera smartphone on DxOMark. The camera app is quite fantastic too in MIUI. I'm actually really impressed. So here there is Pro mode, you can even shoot RAWs if you want, you have focus peaking, so really things which you have on a DSLR camera, and as you can see the focus peaking is also working really good, so this is something I'm really impressed with. Here we have video. Well, we have here the wide angle lens, and as you can see it's really wide, so it's 12 millimeters, so really crazy wide, and you need to be careful to not put your finger in the camera, because if you hold it like this, you hold it like here, your finger's in the camera, so this is really weird. Then we have a 5x optical zoom, and as you can see, even close here to the table, it focuses perfectly. So some reviewers said they had some focus issues, but so far I haven't noticed anything. The focus is really quite fast. Then here we have 8K recording, so for sure you can also shoot 8K, but only with the 48 megapixel sensors. because of course the 20 megapixel sensor would be too small for the 8K resolution. Then here we have the normal photo mode with HDR, with AI processing, and yeah, many things to adjust. The portrait mode, something that's actually good to mention is that it's really nice. You can go from f1.1 software to f16, and yeah, it's actually working really good this time, and you will see more on that in my camera review. There are also some more things like long exposure, super moons, all those things, they're nice to play with, but no pro photographer actually needs. So guys, this is a quick front-facing camera test in 1080p 30 with the smartphone, and yeah, it looks really good. There is a little bit of distortion from the stabilization going on, as you can see when you move around, but well, stabilization is working good. Deals also pretty good with the lighting condition, as you can see there in the back, and yeah, so far I have to say, selfie camera is doing a really good job. So ladies and gentlemen, this is an 8K video sample on the Mi 10 Ultra, and yeah, I'm really curious if you can see some of the details on your probably down-rendered 4K on the 4K monitor. And we have here a lot of plants, so it's actually really nice to test out the 8K, and on the screen itself it looks crazy detailed, especially the detail you usually lose here, and here, and wow, this is looking really amazing. Now let's try to zoom in here a little bit, and holy cow, this is not bad at all. This is really not bad. So now it's switching to the telephoto camera, I guess. Oh no, actually this is not using the telephoto, but still really impressive. Now this is what I'm mainly using, so this is 4K 60 as 8K. Well, it's not that smooth because, you know, you'll always have some lags within the frame rate. But yeah, 4K 60 is doing a really good job on the Xiaomi. This video quality is pretty amazing. Now you cannot switch the lens within, you can only use the digital zoom to zoom in when you want to. But well, if you want to record with a different lens, you have to stop the recording and then continue again, but still that's the case on most of the phones. So let's walk a little bit around, let's check out the exposure right over here. Yeah, that's really fast. Focus is also working really fast. Let's check out some close-ups right over here, and this is beautiful. Even look at the bokeh here on the side. This is looking gorgeous. This is really looking gorgeous. So, and here the fish. Yeah, that's the video quality on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra in 4K 60, absolutely smooth. So talking about the camera hardware, well, we have here a little bit of marketing. So 120x, well, for sure 120x okay, but it's digital zoom. The optical zoom is just 5x. Still, that's kind of incredible, combined with a 48 megapixel sensor, and it sounds smaller than 108 megapixel sensor, but this is a sensor with bigger pixels, and yeah, it's a ½ inch, and actually it's a really nice sensor. We have an f4.1 aperture here on this one, face detection, autofocus, optical image stabilization. We also have a telephoto with 12 megapixels, then we have a telephoto, we have a primary with 48 megapixels, which is 25 millimeters equivalent with an f1.85 aperture. And yeah, also we have the ultra wide camera, which has 20 megapixels and it's 12 millimeter equivalent with f2.2. So really impressive cameras, and yeah, the full camera review will come very soon, and the comparison against also one of the best smartphones, the Huawei P40 Pro. So I think we covered most of the parts for this first look video. Overall, really impressive smartphones, and yeah, I'm really curious if the Huawei will win in the next video or the Mi 10 Ultra. Alright guys, so we're now here at the end of this video, and so far I have to say, this is really a candidate for the best smartphone this year. Now well, there is not a global version right now, I really hope there will be one, but even though this is the Chinese version, I have the Play Store on it, that there is no German or other languages included, it's no problem for me. There's English on the smartphone, and soon there will be a global ROM, so at least you can get more languages. I would still say this phone is an amazing value. So for the 750 euros from Trading Shenzhen, you get an incredibly high-end piece of technology. And yeah, we'll soon test out the camera with the Huawei P40 Pro. So I will travel to the IFA in Berlin next week, and then we'll do a comparison between the Huawei P40 Pro with the 5x optical zoom, and also here the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. And I'm already very curious. Well, so far the smartphone looks very good. As always guys, links down below. And also let me know what you think about the smartphone, so write a comment down below. And if you want to see a look behind the scenes and what I'm also doing on TikTok, then make sure to check it out. Links are also down below. As always guys, big thanks for watching. I'm Steven from Tech Magnet, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice day and bye.